The air crackled with anticipation, a palpable energy that seemed to unite everyone present. Sunlight, filtering through the stained glass of St. Peter's Basilica, painted vibrant hues across the expectant faces below. The colors danced and shimmered, creating an almost ethereal atmosphere. Pope Tagle, his presence radiating a quiet strength, addressed the faithful. His voice, calm yet powerful, resonated with a message of hope and renewal. His words, delivered with calm conviction, echoed through the centuries-old basilica, carrying the weight of history and the promise of change. Each sentence seemed to weave a tapestry of faith and future. A new era had begun. The dawn of this new chapter was met with both excitement and a sense of solemn responsibility. The Vatican, a fortress of faith for centuries, felt the winds of change sweeping through its hallowed halls. The ancient walls seemed to whisper secrets of the past, while embracing the future. Pope Tagle, the first Asian pope, brought a fresh perspective and a bold vision for the future. His warm smile and approachable demeanor endeared him to many. His appointment sent shockwaves through the Catholic world, signaling that the Church was not immune to the changing tides of the 21st century. It was a moment that would be remembered for generations. Tagle's papacy was marked by a sense of urgency to address the challenges facing the Church in a rapidly changing world. He understood the need for dialogue and action. In Pope Tagle, many saw a leader who could bridge the gap between tradition and modernity. His ability to connect with people from all walks of life made him a beacon of hope for the future. Tagle's first major act as Pope was as unexpected as it was bold. In a move that stunned both supporters and critics alike, he took a decisive step that would forever alter the landscape of the Church. He issued a papal decree calling for a radical restructuring of the Church's financial holdings. This decree was not just a piece of paper, it was a manifesto for change. This was not merely symbolic, it was a fundamental shift in how the Church managed its vast wealth. The vaults that had long been closed were now to be opened, revealing the true extent of the Church's financial empire. The decree mandated that all dioceses and religious orders worldwide disclose their financial assets in full. This was a sweeping order that left no room for ambiguity. This transparency aimed at addressing long-standing concerns about financial mismanagement and a lack of accountability. For too long, the Church had been criticized for its opaque financial practices. For centuries, the Church's finances had been shrouded in secrecy, leading to accusations of corruption. The old ledgers and documents were relics of a bygone era, now to be scrutinized under the light of modern transparency. The decree also called for the establishment of an independent body to oversee the Church's finances. This body would be a watchdog, ensuring that the new rules were followed to the letter. This body, composed of lay experts, would ensure transparency, accountability, and ethical investment practices. These experts were chosen for their integrity and expertise, bringing a fresh perspective to the Church's financial management. This move, seen by many as a direct challenge to the Vatican's old guard, signaled Tagle's commitment to bringing the Church into the 21st century. It was a bold statement that the Church was ready to evolve. Conservative elements, long accustomed to operating in the shadows, bristled at the sudden demand for transparency. The tension was palpable, as the old ways clashed with the new vision for a more open and accountable Church. The Catholic world watched with bated breath. Tagle's decree ignited a firestorm of debate, splitting the Church into those who embraced the change and those who clung to tradition. Progressive Catholics saw a glimmer of hope in Tagle's actions. Social media platforms buzzed with discussions with hashtags like #NewEra and #TagleRevolution trending globally. Yet, the decree also sparked fear and anger. Conservative factions viewed Tagle's actions as a threat to their power and a betrayal of tradition. Conservative Catholic media outlets published scathing critiques, accusing Tagle of bowing to secular pressures. The Church, once a monolith, found itself grappling with internal divisions, its future uncertain. To understand the magnitude of Pope Tagle's actions, one must delve into the historical context. The Catholic Church, despite its enduring legacy, has not been immune to the winds of change. Throughout its history, the Church has grappled with calls for reform, facing internal crises and external pressures. The Protestant Reformation was a stark reminder of the consequences of failing to address calls for change. The Council of Trent ushered in a period of counter-reformation, marked by internal reforms. In the modern era, the Second Vatican Council marked another turning point for the Church. Convened by Pope John XXIII, Vatican II aimed to address the challenges of a rapidly changing world. However, Vatican II also exposed deep divisions within the Church, shaping its trajectory in the decades that followed. Pope Tagle's ascension to the papacy signaled the arrival of a new kind of leader, one who embodied the spirit of the modern age. His humble beginnings in the Philippines, where he was known for his pastoral approach and deep connection with the people, and his profound understanding of the challenges facing the global Church, resonated with Catholics worldwide, making him a beloved figure. He was a man of the people, always approachable and genuinely interested in the lives of those he met. A champion of the poor and marginalized, he tirelessly worked to uplift those who were often forgotten by society. His vocal advocacy for social justice and equality made him a beacon of hope for many. Tagle's leadership style differed markedly from that of his predecessors, emphasizing a more personal and relatable approach. He was less concerned with rigid dogma and more focused on fostering dialogue and engagement with all people, regardless of their background. His approach, characterized by humility and compassion, struck a chord with many who yearned for a more inclusive and understanding church. His emphasis on financial transparency and accountability reflected his broader vision for a church that was open and honest in all its dealings. Tagle's papacy represented a significant break from the past, embracing modernity while staying true to core values. It was a bold step into uncharted territory filled with innovative projects and new initiatives aimed at addressing contemporary issues. His vision for a more just, compassionate, and transparent church resonated with millions, but also sparked opposition from those resistant to change. The Vatican, a place of immense power and influence, is also a complex and often opaque institution. Its labyrinthine corridors whisper with secrets, its ancient walls bearing witness to centuries of political maneuvering. Navigating this complex web of allegiances and rivalries is a challenge for any pope, let alone one committed to reform. Tagle faced stiff opposition from within the Vatican's entrenched bureaucracy. Conservative cardinals and bishops viewed his reforms as a threat to their authority. They used their influence to undermine his agenda, whispering in dark corners and obstructing progress. Tagle's decision to appoint lay experts to oversee the Church's finances was met with fierce resistance. The old guard, fearing a loss of power, closed ranks, determined to protect their interests. Yet Tagle also found allies within the Vatican, reform-minded cardinals and bishops who rallied to his side. The Catholic Church, with over 1.3 billion members worldwide, is a truly global institution. Its reach extends to every corner of the planet, encompassing a vast tapestry of cultures, languages, and traditions. Yet this global nature also presents unique challenges as the Church strives to maintain its unity while addressing the diverse needs of its members. Pope Tagle's reforms were met with a mixed reception across the globe. In many parts of the developing world, his emphasis on social justice and interfaith dialogue resonated deeply. However, in Europe and North America, where the Church faced declining attendance, Tagle's reforms sparked both hope and anxiety. Progressive Catholics welcomed his calls for greater inclusion, while conservative Catholics expressed concern about a perceived departure from traditional values. The global Church, reflecting the world it sought to serve, was in a state of flux, its future uncertain. Pope Tagle's papacy stands as a testament to the enduring legacy of the Catholic Church and its capacity for change. The Church, throughout its long history, has demonstrated a remarkable ability to adapt to changing times. The early Church, facing persecution, found strength in its commitment to its teachings and its unwavering belief in the power of faith. The modern Church, confronted with the rise of secularism, has sought to find a balance between preserving its traditions and engaging with contemporary issues. Pope Tagle's papacy represents a bold attempt to bridge the gap between the Church's past and its future. Pope Tagle's bold reforms have ushered in a new era for the Catholic Church, an era marked by both promise and uncertainty. His papacy has ignited a global conversation about the future of the Church and its role in the 21st century. The challenges facing the Church are significant. Secularization continues to rise, eroding traditional values and leading to declining church attendance. Internal divisions, exacerbated by debates over social issues, threaten to undermine its unity. The question remains, will these reforms be enough to secure the Church's future in a rapidly changing world? Only time will tell. Please subscribe to our channel History Documentary Hub for more insightful videos and intriguing content.